same type of bird, but they still refer to themselves as Big Reds.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Big Reds is still around.
Big Reds are still around, but they do not have the marching chief down the field. And again, hate me if you want to, people. We were all into it in 1984. We were proud to be the Big Reds. We did the tomahawk chop and all that stuff. We lost every game, but we were proud to be Big Reds.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate the call.
District is based on Indian reservations.
248-539-9797. The ticket text 248-539-9797. If you read up on the Redskins and what's going on with the team and some of the Native Americans that want the name gone, there was one individual that was sick and tired of their logo. If you remember, it was the old R with the feathers hanging out of the back of the R, and he volunteered to do some work, and he drew up an Indian chief that you see on the helmet now. And this individual was very proud of the fact that the Washington Redskins used his art on their football helmet for the longest of times. Let's go to Robert around the ticket. Hey, Robert, what's up?
How you doing, man?
Hey, man, what's going on?
You're doing a great job, man. You can't be. You are, in fact, you are a Lee Holtz, man.
Wait, I'm Lou Holtz? Lou Holtz? Oh, Lita Holtz. Gotcha. Thank you, Robert. Thank you. Hey, listen, you and my mother have told me that. Maybe my brother, but not too many people. But thanks. Go on.
No, it's funny how people talk about if you change this name, you got to change some other name. It's always something worse than that. That's the problem. You have to start with little steps. You start at names and Confederate flag symbols and stuff like that in society, just to try to level everything out, make everything nicer for the little people. I know that the majority of people are persons who the majority are offended with the name Redskins, but even I'm a little bit offended. Even though I'm African American, I can say, wow, why they taking on the Redskin guy? He's not a Redskin. He's the proper name for an Indian person is not even Indian person. It's Native American. They call the team the Native Americans. It'd be fine. But no, it's the Redskins. We all know it's not right. And then the one.
No, I'm totally with you.
Notre Dame. Wait a minute. When you self-impose your name, your own image, what you want to call yourself, the whole bit. That cannot be derogatory because it's self-imposed. That's silly. The other caller just silly said that one. And there was another caller was saying about, once again, about if you stop, if you rename, you got this, you got to rename that, you got to rename this, you got to rename that. Of course you have to, eventually. Am I wrong?
No, Robert, you're not. But see, that's the thing. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing or a soft thing if in 2020 or really whatever year, and I appreciate the call, to point out stuff where we can be better. I think that's all this is. We're just pointing out stuff to be more respectful, pointing out stuff to, treat people like they should be treated. That's all. I think everybody that wants to worry about, well, you know what, they're tearing our society apart, and they're tearing our tradition apart. I mean, that's your prerogative. I just choose not to see things the same way. I just see it as fixing, I don't want to say a wrong, but maybe what wasn't particularly right. Is that fair? So I appreciate the call. I think it's a good point. And I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, for the people, and Sully and I were kind of doing it from the very start, for the people that say, well, you know what, are you offended? Are people really offended by the term? We know they're offended. Now, I will say this, and I read this today too, the word Redskin was actually apparently invented by Native Americans. It was the Redskins and the Whiteskins, and it was a way to differentiate, I guess. And then apparently, as time went on, it became a racial slur. As time went on, it became an offensive term. So that's all you really need to know, right? Let's move on. And if you're worried about, by the way, the Redskins, like if you're a fan, or if you're worried about the team, or if you're worried about just this whole normal thing and it's going to be weird, teams change their names all the time. All the time they change their names. And you get used to it. 248-539-9797, the ticket text, 248-539-9797. Got some more phone calls to get to. Read some of your text as well. And I want to bring this up. If I can't get to it today, I'll try to get to it tomorrow. But I think everybody's been in this position. I think everybody has. And I did not handle myself well. And I heard about it. Tell you what it is, maybe next hour. 97.1 The Ticket.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Flame Heating and Cooling. No reports of accidents on your drive this afternoon, just some slower traffic for those returning from up north in the Flint area, 75 southbound just before Mount Morris Road, and again approaching the 75 US 23 split. 75 southbound from Big Beaver to 13 Mile. Additional overnight road work is scheduled to leave one lane open starting 9 tonight through 5 a.m. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
If your air conditioner sounds like keys tumbling in the dryer, don't hesitate. Call the experts at Flame. That's Flame Heating and Cooling. Go online now to flamefurnace.com or call 888-234-2340. That's 888-234-2340.
Are your workouts more fun than this? Well, if they are, then I want to sign you to an endorsement deal with Michelob Ultra. I'm looking for anyone and everyone who makes working out a blast. If that's you, head to TeamUltra.com for a chance to score awesome perks like Team Ultra gear and more. That's TeamUltra.com to enter.
No purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents. 21 plus. See official rules at TeamUltra.com. Messenger data may apply. Void where prohibited. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
As you get back to business, small things can make a big difference. Like marking safe distances with floor tape and posting reminders to wash hands. As always, Grainger is here to help. Offering supplies and solutions for every industry. Free access to product specialists, 24/7 support, safety recovery guides, and more. It's part of our commitment to help you adapt and recover in these challenging times. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's the perfect time for a powerful business refresh during Dell Technologies Cyber Savings Event. It starts now with up to 50% off high-performance Windows 10 business laptops, desktops, and servers, plus top brand electronics. It's also your chance to streamline IT and simplify PC life cycles with PC as a service. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 10 Pro for business. Call 877-ASK-DELL for a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find the right tech. That's 877-ASK-DELL or visit Dell.com/smallbusinessdeals.
Hey guys, this is Jamie Samuelson, and while we all enjoy a night out on the town with friends, when it comes to drinking and driving, that's something I don't do, and you shouldn't either. It's so easy to call an Uber or Lyft. That's what I usually do. It makes everyone else on the road safe.
This message brought to you by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Takura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, call 877-734-2200.
When big things happen in Detroit sports, you hear it first on Detroit's #1 sports station, 97.1 The Ticket. Breaking news powered by Radio.com Sports and brought to you by the Dell Technologies Small Business Conference. Go listen at Radio.com/Dell. WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. The Radio.com sports station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the 844 SoldByZ.com sports desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
We are brought to you by Jeff Glover and Associates. NFL news: the Kansas City Chiefs have signed an extension worth 10 years with quarterback Patrick Mahomes in the neighborhood of $400 million. A very good neighborhood indeed. Meanwhile, the Detroit Lions have added 3 to their personnel department, including the man who is best known for creating the NFL Boo Meter for the NFL Draft. Meanwhile, the Detroit Tigers holding their first formal full-team workout today at Comerica Park. are also looking to complete a couple of exhibition games before they begin the regular season later this month. The MLB schedule due on at 6 p.m. today. The Atlanta Braves' Nick Markakis opting out of the 2020 season due to his COVID-19 concerns. NHL, 9 more players testing positive for the virus. At Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1theticketerradio.com.
Alrighty, hour number 4. Put 'em up, 4. Who'd have thought we'd make it this far? The Michael and A extravaganza. Hatchet is back when? Wednesday or Thursday? He's back, I think, Wednesday. Sully leaves us on Thursday. I'm on till, all week. Wojo will join us on Thursday. Mike will be back on Monday. Sorry, did I just confuse everybody? I think I did. That's my bad. Anyway, I'm in for Mike for the week. Then Mike comes back on Monday, and we're talking about a litany of different things. Started off the program talking about Sully's guy, Bryson DeChambeau, won the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Also spent great length talking about Patrick Mahomes' new contract. By the way, so do we have any update on the financials or no on that?
We don't have any update on the exact numbers yet, no.
Okay, once we get that, we will get those to you,
Well,
for sure.
actually we do. As of 1 minute
we do?
ago,
What
I
do we
take
got?
that back. Adam Schefter, literally 1 minute ago. Compensation update. Patrick Mahomes' 10-year extension is worth $450 million. The injury guarantee is $140 million. The contract does not contain language that ties its value to a percentage of the salary cap, which was previously speculated. It is the richest deal in sports history.
Wow. So $450 million. And you divide that by 10. Not that you have to. So he's getting $45 million a year. Here's my question, though. How old is he? 23? 24.
Mahomes is 24.
Okay, so $45 million a year for the next 10 years. Don't you think? But he's got 2 years left on his remaining deal. So he's actually in KC for the next 12 years. So you finish off your contract, if you signed a 5-year extension rather than a 10-year deal, could you have made more than $45 million the next 5 years? I don't know, man. That's for all the people second guessing, wondering, should he have made it 2 contracts instead of just the richest contract? I don't know. And there also comes some pride too, right? It's just not the richest NFL contract, but the richest contract in professional sports, which I would assume is more than like Messi, correct? Who I think made the most money at some point. Is that fair to assume? I think that was the deal. So, geez, $45 million a year for 10 years. It's not bad. It's not bad. So we got that out there too. We asked the question, who else in sports deserves a Mahomes type contract? But go ahead.
Jeff, can I also give you one more update?
Yeah, please.
From Bob Nightingale.
Oh, baseball guy.
Yes. Now, a gentleman by the name of Dave Dombrowski, former GM of the Red Sox, and do you remember the other team he was a GM for? Can you recall?
The Marlins.
Yes.
The Marlins, yeah.
Dave Dombrowski is moving to Nashville and joining Music City Baseball, LLC, in an attempt to bring Major League Baseball to Nashville. The city is hoping to land an expansion franchise or have an existing team relocate to Nashville. Dombrowski will be leading the charge.
Interesting. Well, considering nobody else wants to hire him for whatever reason because of what happened in Boston, I mean, honestly, that dude won a World Series. Yes, he may have known about the cheating going on in Boston, but nobody else will hire him. So now a team that doesn't exist yet hires him. Listen, I will never say a bad thing about Double D. The dude was a hell of a GM. Did he do it right here in Detroit? Not completely, because you didn't win a championship. But man, he gave us 10 years of really good baseball. He gave us 10 years of exciting times, memories, can't miss moments. Not to mention, he had something to watch every night, which is a far cry to how things are today. So, interesting. Nashville. Double D. He's got to be, what, 60-something?
Now, Dombrowski, you asked me for anyone else's age this segment.
Yes. Could you just get your age Romanized?
Googling right now, 63. Jeff, he was born on July 27th, 1956, so his birthday's coming up in a couple
Look at that. Some little card. Double D. True story. Can I tell you a quick story? We'll go back to the calls, talking about the Redskins, and we'll see if we have time to bring up anything else. A true story, if you want to hear this. So my mother is big with the Temple, right? Temple Bethel. So my mother went to one of those Tiger deals at the Detroit Economic Luncheon, and she went with her rabbi friend. And it was her and her rabbi friend and some other people sitting around, some Tigers sitting around at the table. And Dave Dombrowski goes up to that table, and my mother, very outgoing, she introduces herself to Dave Dombrowski and says, "Oh, Dave, my son, he works for the ticket. He's always, at the Tiger games." And Dave's like, "Who's your son?" And she said, "Jeff Rieger." And you know what Dave Dombrowski said? "We like Jeff Rieger. He does a really good job." And my mom was never proud. So you think he was lying to her?
Say that?
He did. Swear to God, true story.
I know you got into it with Leland a lot. Did you ever get into it with Dombrowski much?
The only time I got into it with Dombrowski was the one time when I went to Cleveland because Peralta got busted for steroids. And Dave Dombrowski talked to the media before Leland talked to the media. And you guys were on the air, and he said, "Listen, nobody is to ask Leland about Peralta." And I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, "You insane? What do you mean?" He's like, "I am the point person about Johnny Peralta. Just ask me. You can ask me anything you want. Go ahead." So we asked him the questions, and then we went in to see Leland. And I remember Leland was making coffee. He had his back turned to the media. He answered like 7 or 8 questions, all about Miguel Cabrera being hurt. From John Lowe, former Free Press member, if you remember. He doesn't do it anymore. Or if he does it in a different city. Then I asked him, I'm like, Jim, what do you say about Johnny? And Leland got so pissed, he turned around, he kicked us all out of his office in Cleveland. And Dombrowski was pissed at me for a couple of days, too. So that was my run-in with Dave.
Wow. Man, you got so many of these stories.
Yeah, I got a lot. Yeah.
Well, at least you was
248
complimenting your mother. That was very nice, actually.
Well, exactly. That's all I could really ask for. Even though he might have been lying. But that's okay. My mom thinks I'm a rock star, even if nobody else does. All right, what are we doing here, Sully? You want to read some text, and we'll get to the calls next segment? Does that sound good?
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, the Patrick Mahomes deal is crazy. Wow, biggest in sports history. I will say, though, I think he deserves it.
I would agree. I think he deserves more.
Dombrowski will do well in Nashville. I think that he'll get them a team.
I would agree. Good league ties for sure. And you got to believe he'd be the president, and then he would probably name a GM.
Jeff, do you think that the team actually will end up in Nashville?
I mean, eventually. I would like to go back to Montreal first. I think, they might deserve it. But Nashville, I think, would be a great baseball town. It's worked well with hockey. Nobody saw that coming.
Jeff, do you think Central Michigan should change their nickname?
The Chippewas. See, don't you think the Chippewas it's not like Redskins. It is a tribe name, right? So I think, and by my understanding, they have the respect of the Native Americans around them and the permission. So I don't think so, no. I mean, there is a point of this, by the way, where you are doing it to honor someone or something or a group of people, right? So if it's truly that, then no, there's no issue at all. Guys, we're talking about really one name that people say is the equivalent of the N-word to Native Americans. So it's that derogatory. It's that much of a slur. So what are we really arguing about here? We had the one lady call up Chanel. She said it's very offensive. She was African American. She was Native American. She said it was very offensive. I mean, I don't think I'm paraphrasing, but pretty much the most offensive thing you can call a Native American. So why are we using it as